Good evening. Welcome to the Gooner
Oh,
booth.
sorry.
He's
Sorry,
going
we're
for
live.
it.
Sorry, you've
He's
gone
going
live.
for it. Welcome. What a game. What a performance.
Yeah,
Gyökeres. We are incredibly happy for him. Deserved that
yeah.
massively. Before we get into it, please like and subscribe. Thank you for all your comments from the preview video. Much appreciated. Keep them coming. I'll turn my heater off. Yeah, let's get into it. What a
Yeah,
game. Your initial assessment on it, Wayne?
yeah. My initial assessment from sort of before the first goal went in was that it was going to be a game that would have been opened up with a set piece. They had obviously a chance. I thought for quite a lot of the game when Atletico had the chance, Alvarez was really giving trouble for Big Gabby.
He looked good.
He's a good player. We know that. We've seen him from the Premier League. But yeah, it ended up. So I only thought we'd get two. We got four. And two goals for Gyökeres. One off his ankle, that bounced off the
Yeah.
defender, and then off his knee. Doesn't matter, Tone. I said
In them
I said in the
situations,
preview,
you
it could have
take
been
it.
back off his backside. He needed the ball to go in the net. And you can see what the players as well. They did exactly the same thing for Havertz when everyone was on his back, and everyone, and you could see that the players that they know. You see this player gaming game out and in the training. He deserved that, and his confidence should skyrocket, I think now, matey. But yeah, just end the drought, shut people up. Doesn't matter. You put the ball in the back of the net, mate. Two goals.
Yeah, do you know what I was saying in our chat? Like he run his absolute socks off
Yeah,
this evening.
yeah,
I think every Arsenal supporter in that stadium watching it at home would have been absolutely over the moon to see
mm,
him. I think wherever it goes in, it doesn't matter as long as it goes in. And
yeah,
that will just breathe life into him now.
yeah.
That's
He,
all he
he
needed was
looks,
goals.
he's looking. I noticed it against the guys at the weekend. I apologise. Who we play at the weekend again, Tone? My brains.
Fulham, Fulham,
Fulham
Fulham.
against Fulham. This guy's played a lot of football this season already without having a full pre-season. You have to be patient with him. And there's times again where his runs he's making, he's getting picked out more and more. And again, I know it's the polar opposite of what Gyökeres does, but he was in the right place. That's what he does. He will score goals like that. He'll put a penalty in 9 times out of 10, maybe in better. His penalty record's fantastic. But you do the runs he was making. I'm very happy with that. Zubimendi as well, by the way, fantastic. And what I also want to put on there, Tam, before I pass it back to you, is we've had a lot of stuff about Martinelli, and I will clarify why. And I said to you, and I'm pretty sure videos and past videos can also back this up. I said I want the 22-23 version of Martinelli back.
He was brilliant. He was
And he
brilliant
was
tonight.
brilliant today. And as long as he keeps doing that, I'm more than happy to eat my words. But what I'm saying is I want that 22-23 Martinelli. And you know what I also reckon as well? I said
Yeah,
how he's getting that and how he played today was because he had Gyökeres up front and what Gyökeres does, and it opens up the space for both wingers. Um, and I think that's where you're gonna see Martinelli improve again, to have a proper centre forward again, to unleash him so he can have them moments. And it's a great finish from him as well, world class. MLS as well for that goal.
oh, what a
That
run! What a run that
he
was.
What if that tells you that this guy's a midfielder? Doesn't Then I don't know what does. He is he is a central midfielder, Tone, and he's a bloody brilliant one at that. And I think as I said, it was great for Haaland boy to come on to start. Sorry, and get that goal. It's brilliant.
I think MLS, for me, he did struggle at left back at times. I think there's a little bit of where the pace sort of got to him. I don't know if it's because he's not had enough game time, but there was moments in the game where you're like, oh, he's not really keeping up with old Simone's kid. I don't know if that was his son, by the way. That was
Yeah, it was.
that
Yeah,
was
I don't
don't
know.
see that
I'm
every
not
day, do
sure.
you?
No, I'm not sure, Tony. It could have been. I'm really not sure, mate. So if someone can clarify for us, we would appreciate it. But
What's
yeah,
that?
Simeone, his boy.
No,
His
it is
boy.
his son. It's
It
his
is his
son.
son.
It's his
Oh,
son. Yeah,
sorry.
it's
Yeah,
his son.
I had
Yeah.
Simeone. Yeah, I thought I just obviously didn't really.
Didn't you?
Fair enough.
There was a moment in the game where I think he got cleaned out by MLS, and the fact he was through on goal, and he just literally just blocked him. He was
Yeah,
going nuts on the touchline. I think Alan Shearer said, "Oh, he went." I think he does that of every player, not just his son.
yeah.
That's when it
No,
clicked
fair
for me. I was
enough
like, "Oh,
then.
it's his fucking son."
Yeah,
Jesus Christ, could you? That's like Sunday league. That's like your dad running a football team and playing
playing you. Yeah.
Well, there was always a dad that had his son playing for him. That's I don't think it's any team in Europe that's got the manager of their son playing for him. That's just, it was weird, but
yeah.
I
mean, it's yeah. I mean, listen, they had for that time. I mean, he also his touchline demeanour for most of that first half, he was really pissing me off. And I suppose I think he's obviously there are people outside. There are some Arsenal fans that don't like Arteta, but there's rival fans that don't like his touchline stuff as well. But the stuff he was doing, he was doing that constantly. Then he going absolutely. I don't know if you see it, but the Amazon cameras caught him, and he's throwing his hand up, going,
he's so dramatic, but it did make me laugh. But Joe, what
we got a message, sorry, Tone, from Alfie. Good evening, guys. How are we? Good win for Arsenal, especially against Athletic, who aren't mugs. What's your thoughts? Cheers for the message, Alf. Yeah, what do you think, Tone? What do you think on that, matey? With Alfie's question,
the game started how we would expect it to start. Both teams were quite tight. Although, Joe, what I must admit, we come out the traps quickly, and I've not seen us do that all season. And I think that sort of blew Athletic away a little bit because they wasn't expecting us to be that quick out the traps.
Yeah,
Saka, Saka deserves a lot of credit tonight because he got everyone going. Him and Timber on that right hand side were unplayable at times. They couldn't get anywhere near him.
Brilliant.
And that's all that just then developed across the pitch. And then obviously Martinelli got going, then it was on both lengths, and I think they just didn't know where to look. I think Declan Rice and Zubimendi had an absolute solid game in that midfield. They kept it flowing. But tough game, right? We went into the preview thinking, our 1-1, 2-1 was our prediction. There was no way. I mean, the odds on being 4-0 must have been sky high tonight. So
I would like to put a bet. I'd like to put a bet on Tone. Yeah, definitely.
That would have been, but not expected from us. But look, goes to show that Arteta can take the handbrake off, and when he does do it, we can play fluid football, and we come out the traps, and we were great. But overall, I think good performance. First half, I think we got away with one a little bit. That rare moment. If that goes in, that's a completely different game.
I don't know what he was trying to do on there, trying to be a sort of like a left back and drop his shoulder a bit. But
no, thanks for your comment, Alf.
But cheers, Alf. It was a good win, boy. They were a tough team, but again, we cracked on with it second half, and that's a lot of set pieces unlocked them.
Cool. Keep the questions coming, guys. Appreciate it. I think that. So, who would you say was man of the match? Because I can't see it's been announced yet. Because we've come straight out on the stream. So
no, as I say, we would have missed it, guys.
I'll keep an eye on Sky Sports.
Yeah, go on, mate. Because I've got no access on my end.
What's your initial thoughts on who's man of the match? Then, whilst I bring this up, who was your man of the match?
Zubimendi was quality along with Rice. I just think for me, to see that's the best I've seen Martinelli play for a while. I want to give it to him because it's a world-class finish, but players sort of, I'm pretty sure their sort of like assistants or someone who deals with they might have Twitter or they might have Instagram, whatever they've got. There is comments. I'm pretty sure it filters through to these players. And if you're getting, it's Martinelli this, Martinelli that, and I think today, listen, even including myself, and I'm happy to say that, live on air, that, but my thing about him was that I felt that there is still a player in there, but something is just clearly, not functioning. That's the best I've seen him play. Fair play to him. Well done for shutting me up, who was moaning about you. But as an Arsenal fan, I'm more than happy to see him do that. And I thought, for me, he was absolutely brilliant. There's a lot of good performances there. We kept our cool. There's a lot of players, Atletico Madrid players, trying to be a bit antagonistic, as you can expect from Simeone's teams. But I just think in terms of that's the best I've seen Martinelli play. And there were some fantastic performances out there. Very close with Timber as well. Timber is just on another level, Tone. He is an elite defender, along with obviously big Gabs and Saliba.
Yeah.
But I want to give it for Martinelli for effort, for a fantastic finish. He put the ball in that caused all the kerfuffle in the box for the third goal. I just think let's praise this boy and let's keep on it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I agree.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Bones? We need to build this guy up, because we're only critical of him because we've seen what he can do. You know, and we're like, is that it? Sort of thing. Did he hit that nadir and he's dropped off? Keep going, keep putting in performances like
What
that, and we'll
what
get
I
you
don't
know.
want to see, and Arteta's got this written all over him. What I don't want to see is now on Palace at Sunday, he brings Trossard back in on the left, because that'll just kill him off a little. You know,
It's certain game stakes, but I hope not. This is why I said in my match preview again with Fulham, as I've seen from last couple of weeks, his last couple of performances, for Martinelli, that there's been an improvement tone, and that's why I said in the preview I want to see him start. I wanted to see him start tonight.
he's got to start after that
And
performance.
he's got after that performance, he's got to start. And you've got to keep this boy's performance. At the end of the day, if he knows now, because let's put it this way as well. And I don't want to be kind of carrying on, Tone. I just thought the ball was brilliant. But you look at it as well when you have players like you've got Noni Madueke still to come in. When Ødegaard comes in, could that shift Eze to be a challenger on the left? So you know he's going to have players and Havertz as well. You know. He's going to challenge.
That's my opinion's changed on Arteta.
Thank you, Alf. Good question.
Trust him to kill my vibe tonight.
Yeah. Very good question, Alf. Thank you, Morgan. Thank you.
They haven't. He has to win a trophy this season. He has to.
You know, I know. Listen, as he's just said there. Thanks again for your question, Alf. We appreciate it. Please keep them coming, guys. Look, you know, at the end of the day, for me, we know in the chat, you boys are more than entitled to your opinion. My opinion is that I'm of the belief that this guy has now got a team that's more than capable of doing it, and he has got the tactics, the mindset, and to take us there. We have to be consistent now. But yeah, thank you, Alfie. Again, going back to with Arteta and the faith. It has to push that, doesn't he, boy? At the end of the day, it's that last bit of the season, to push us over the line. So, yeah, at the end of the day, people got you as well, Tone. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. For me, I've always backed Arteta for what he done in an Arsenal shirt.
Yeah,
that's a personal thing. So
my stance on it is right. He's been a good manager, but if you can't win something with the squad that he's got now, because of the depth we've got, the players to come back. If you can't win something with this squad, then when will you ever win something? That's going to be my,
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. You. Sorry, Tone. You're right. At the end of the day, though, with this manager, is it has to be. Performances like this are fantastic, but you have to. It's all when the business end comes in. Sorry, I'll spit my words out. The April, the difficult months that leading up to the final month of the season. He has to push that now. And I think what I'm adamant of, and I'm not telling this should be anywhere near your priority list, but winning like a League Cup or going for it in the FA Cup. This team just need to lift a trophy, a genuine trophy, because people keep saying the Community Shield isn't a genuine trophy. People still forget for how long it's not a genuine trophy. It's not a genuine trophy. I'm not saying it on air. It's not a genuine trophy.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm not saying it, Tone. Again, you're twisting me words. Can you stop it, dude? All right, because this partnership will end straight off.
Calling you Arteta.
Right, Mikel has won an FA Cup, but people forget that because he hasn't won in 5 years. Yeah, the Community Shield though is still listed by other clubs like Man City and Liverpool as genuine trophies, Tone. But we can't do it because everyone takes the piss out of us. So, but I'm just leaving that comment in there. But for me, I get that. I get where people are coming from. For me, I believe he can, and he's got the team now because. Edu fucked it up last summer. We've already said this. So he was massively let down. So this is the season, but this is the kind of performance that tells you that we've done this without Ødegaard, without Havertz, without the backup of Noni, who I believe is going to be a quality player, even coming from the bench or starting a game like this. you know, Gabby
Just
Jesus, whether he's coming or going, Tone, is still
just on
a quality
just on
player.
transfers, Wayne. How
Yeah,
good
go
must
for it, mate.
Berta felt in that stand tonight, watching that performance against his old club?
Berta,
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, he must have
how
been
good
mixed
would he
feelings.
have felt?
I tell you what, I mean, it's not so much with Atletico. He obviously took him as far as he could, and Atletico spent quite a lot of money, Tone. And Berta brought that Sorloth, however you pronounce his name, their centre forward today. He bought him Alvarez. He bought them in both the same summer. When he bought Alvarez, that's what I can't, that's a year or two before he's come to us, obviously. But what that tells you, right, is that we're missing three key, 2 to 3 key players, shall we say. I mean, Havertz and Ødegaard were his first pick at Arteta, and we have come away and beat one of the a tough team to beat. Simeone teams do not get thumped 4-0.
No,
They don't. They really don't. So,
Arteta gets a lot of credit tonight.
What I mean? But again, this is what I'm saying. It's taken that. What questions, Tone, that need to be answered, and we'll come to that another day. But you look at what's happened in this squad, what happened tonight, and what's been happening throughout the season so far, is that we've had a proper football man deliver us players to give us elite, elite kind of squad depth, So it was a fantastic game, matey. And thank you, here for your. Hopefully if I pronounced the name
good
right,
evening.
thank you very much. Good evening, my friend. And yeah, we didn't expect that, matey, but thanks for joining. But yeah, it is phenomenal to see, and I think he would have been proud of that. But it just goes to show you what was going on between Kroenkes and Edu and Mikel. That means that this depth, we've been waiting so long to have this kind of depth. You know what I mean, mate? So,
well,
yeah.
back on the game. Who would we say had a not so great game tonight? Sorry.
I knew you'd ask that. I'm not going to listen. I love the kid. And I think again, I said it last night in a preview. He has to kind of come from the left. I think Eza struggled at times to get into the game, and I think I'll say that was a bit of a weak performance from him. But I still think there's more to come, from him. Let's just, let's give the guy. I think there's, good performances. I can't really say there weren't anyone. Gabby was shaky against Alvarez, but showed how vital he is at the other end. The fact of the matter is, it still doesn't. If I'm not mistaken, did they have a shot on target? Was it just one?
They did,
because they hit the bar, which doesn't actually count as a shot on target.
Yeah, which is messed up because he still hit the target.
It's still, in my opinion, you've gone towards goal.
Yeah, so going through the stats, possession was quite equal. We had 51% to their 49%.
Yeah.
And then we had 19 shots to their 11. On target, we had 8 on target versus their 1. Off target was equal 6 aside. Corners, we had 3, they had 4. Wow. 2 offside. Tackles, we 50 to 65. Aerial duels. Wow, I didn't see us win a lot of headers, so this makes sense. 41 to their 58. Yeah, I think fouls committed was quite equal. The card. Yeah, no, look, I think that looking at the stats, it shows how equal the game was. I think we just got a break on them, and then we've just absolutely ramsacked them in 15 minutes and scored 4 goals.
Yeah, I mean that was the impressive thing, Tone. Definitely, again, that's what I'm saying. He's no mug, Simeone, because he's been in this game. He's been manager for a while. He's been much longer than Arteta. Sets his team up to play a certain way, and they're also one of them teams as well, Tone. We get last year, and obviously it's a little bit less so, but people are still now moaning because we're using long throws and we're set piece FC.
Joe, I'm glad you mentioned long throws.
He's the king of all of them. He's the king of the dark arts,
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned long throws. If we're going to be doing long throws, we need players that can throw the ball that far. Lewis Skelly had a throw.
Oh, don't! Nowhere. I knew you was going to bring this up
in the air, and I thought I'm going to remember that for the stream because it's all right doing that tactic, but you need people that can throw the fucking ball in the box. And he just throwed it and scooped it like an ice cream cone. And this is like if you're going to do that tactic, then do it with the right people, not with someone that can't
Yeah, I mean, Calafiori can do that. I think obviously
Yeah,
Timber's
but
more Timber as well.
Skelly isn't got it
But
in his
yeah,
locker.
listen, you know, it's neither here nor there. But I know what you're saying. I knew you was going to bring that up because I thought there's no way this kid's going to lift this in.
I was like, when he took the run up, I was like, fucking hell, go on then, let's see what you got. And then you just see, like, okay, that's what we was expecting. But no, look, other than his throw-ins, I thought Skelly had a good game. He had a bit of a sloppy start, as we've mentioned. He got caught out on the wing a few times. That the pace sort of got over him. But look, what he's got in his locker compared to Calafiori with this inverted winger, this inverted fullback situation, is that there's a moment where we got that goal. I don't know if you noticed it. He had his back to the player, then he spun and then he started driving through the midfield. Now, on many occasions, I've seen that not work and him lose the ball.
Yeah.
So that's always a gamble you're going to take with Skelly when you plan him in that role, because if he opens his body up and he's driving, then he's so dangerous. But if he doesn't lose the ball, that's a goal. Yeah. 9 times out of 10. So you got to be really careful with how he plays. But obviously it's worked out tonight. And do you know what? He's one of the best players we've got in terms of how he him and Declan Rice, I'd say, are on par. I mean, probably people might disagree with me on that. How they drive through the midfield. As soon as they get going, they're pretty much unstoppable. You have to foul them to slow him down. I'm actually shocked that Atletico didn't take him down when he was literally just running through everyone. And then what a finish from Martinelli. That's very Henry-esque. We got his foot around the ball, bent it in the bottom corner. Do you know what? He can do that all day. When he gets that space, he's got that in his locker.
Exactly, Tone. When you've got him kind of isolated or in open space, as opposed to him facing down 1-2 defenders and trying to take them on, is Martinelli's game. And what I'd say with you as well is another thing to look at. And you know, with having a centre forward now and a proper centre forward who would occupy the spaces in the box, Gyökeres they want 2 people on. You look at him; he was getting manhandled in the first half. But what they always do, what teams have been doing now, have been like, we'll stick the 2 centre halves, like, let's keep on him, like, you know. And it's been. But what's he doing? He's occupying that extra defender, and Martinelli has space on the left. Saka has space on the right. You know, this is what this player is doing, and there's a lot of sort of our own fans and, you know, some pundits or, you know, other people want to weigh in with it, but that goal happens because you have a proper centre forward there occupying the spaces. It's no disrespect to Havertz, because Havertz is a different kind of player, but he opens them spaces up now, and this is what we can look forward to, I think, with Martin.
While you've mentioned Havertz, right? Let's have the discussion, right?
Yeah.
Would Havertz giving you that work rate that Gyökeres gave us tonight?
No, what he would, but the boy
closing down. I mean, Gyökeres is an absolute beast, right? And he works his socks off tonight, but he's not the only time that he's done that. He's always working the flanks and he's always chasing down. He's always the first to press. Now, if you notice when Havertz is playing, he isn't always the first to press. It's only Ødegaard that starts to press.
Ødegaard leads to press.
Whereas Gyökeres just goes. He just goes, and then people follow him. And then, but naturally, you want your striker to do that so that your midfield follow suit. Otherwise, like, I don't know if you see Ødegaard's on a few occasions going like that, trying to get everyone up to press, whereas Gyökeres just goes, right? Yeah. And the guy don't stop running. He's a machine. And I was thinking about this before he scored his goals. I went, if we win this game 2-0, right, I'm literally going to come on this stream and say, all right, yes, Martinelli deserves man of the match because he was absolutely brilliant tonight. But Gyökeres still stays second. Like tonight, he's still second. He scored his goals. But just for that sheer work rate that he gives us, he opens up the pitch. And I think he allows Saka to play. I'm starting to spot it. Watch it the next game against Palace. He opens up space for our midfield and Saka to have that space to open his body up.
Yeah, for both players, Bones. He does.
You know,
honestly, it's not just isolated to Martinelli. Yeah, he does it with Saka, Bones.
Yeah, and I think the more games we're seeing as well, the more his fitness is getting better. Yeah. Like, I don't know if you've noticed. I feel like he's quicker across the ground now. He's moving a lot quicker than he was at the start of the season.
what it is with him, sorry, Tone, but just obviously in terms of what you're saying in terms of quicker, mate, he is crazy for his bursts and what they call it, you know, and what it is
Acceleration.
you know, but he's closing down, like he'll get a bit of energy, he'll slow down. He's high intensity sprints, sorry guys, is what I'm trying to get at. He does so many per game, right? And he keeps going and going and going. And like we said in the chat, oh, he's blowing out. He's blowing out, yeah, but he does it all the time. He's a machine. You know, all it is someone like that. He deserves it. And there's been occasions where I've seen it and I'm thinking to myself, this guy is now finally getting in tune with the players around him. And that's why I said to you, and I said on the stream, and I'll maintain in our chat and to whoever, that I'm on the Gyökeres train anyway, but I still believe that you'll be seeing this guy at his peak come the crunch time, February. You know, let's not judge someone who's bedding into a team, hasn't had a pre-season, you know, and people are going, oh, you got a striker. You know, even Alan Shearer, he defended him on Match of the Day, but he made a comment on the Amazon one and said, look, you know, he's first half, Gyökeres, he done all the running, but Arsenal don't need that. Arsenal need a goal scorer. You haven't paid 55 million for him. We've paid 55 million to have an out-and-out number 9 do what he's done, and the goals will come, you know. And
he's definitely a fan favourite. That's one thing I would say. Listening to the stadium when he's even the running, everyone's off like giving him a standing ovation just for pure, you know, the work rate that he puts in.
Any player, right, that is said, tells his agent that I want one club and one club only, and as an Arsenal fan, it's the Arsenal. That's what, you know, that's why them fans are behind him. There are some idiots online. There are some Benjamin Tesco super fanboys who will carry on chucking his name into him in the mix, right? Because that's our own fan base. It's not the others. It's our own fan base, you know. And these people you need to realise that if you see with your eyes and you see what he's doing, there were times when he's touched. Tonight, his touch again was spot on, you know, and I saw it against Fulham, and it's this improvement. It's gradual, Tone, and everyone all of a sudden is starting to get in tune with him, you know. And yeah, he to me is one of them guys that will get you a 1 in 2 strike rate. If he gets better, mate, I'll eat my words. But I believe this guy will sort of like, you know, at the moment, Tone. Is it 12? How many games? We played 8 so far, aren't we, in the Premier League? So you got
sounds about right.
So he's played in total 12 games for us, and I think he's played, say, 16 for Sweden without ban. Sweden are a team where their identity was getting lost anyway, so his confidence ain't going to be fantastic there when it's a different manager, a different system. I'm looking at his Arsenal return. You know, I'm not looking at 0-4 for Sweden. I'm looking at his Arsenal. He scored now 5 goals, and I believe I don't know if he got an assist. You know, the last game at home. And I think it bounced off. Martinelli tapped it in, didn't he?
Yeah.
So obviously, I think it was that's the last game. I don't know if he got an assist for that. I don't know if you get an assist for that, because obviously he flicked the ball past the keeper. It hit the post, and Martinelli, maybe the post negated it. Doesn't matter, because he's got 5 goals in 11 starts. Yeah. Geezer scores another goal. That's 6 goals in 12 starts. Yeah, people are adding his sub appearance where he took off. I can't remember who was playing there. Who was playing up top, but he put Gyökeres on against who do we play in the League Cup? Port Vale, was it Port Vale?
Port Vale, yeah.
Port Vale. So, you know, he's gonna get there, and he's got 2 now that is going to bump his numbers up, but he will get goals much cleaner than what he scored today. And he will score goals like that because as a striker, Tone, if my striker's not there, then I'm pissed off. And we've not had someone who's going to be in them positions where the ball bounces and he's there. 6-yard box, boom, tap it in. I don't care if he hits 15 of them, Tone, because it will still be a goal that we need, mate, you know? So, yeah, we keep the faith on him. You're right in that he was very close. You're right, actually. Yeah, he did fantastic. He was very close for man. I think.
I think that I think the way he improves the way we play. I think tonight you see he's allowed last season. If we'd played Atletico Madrid last season without Gyökeres, Saka would have been doubled up on, tripled up on. He wouldn't have had the
Yes.
time and space that he had tonight for him and
Yes.
Timber to work down that right hand side. We're not as easy to play against now, and also because he's working across that 6-yard box.
Yeah.
He's creating space for Martinelli to do his thing as well, because eventually Martinelli got into the game, and then naturally, because he is pressing that higher, naturally the centre halves are gonna. I don't know if you noticed, they started sitting back more, so therefore our midfield had the ball, and I think that might have been why Eze probably got a little bit lost in the game, because he couldn't find that space, because it was obviously quite compact in there. Whenever we play, but as I said, every team we play now, they're going to be really compact in that midfield and defence. They're going to have 2 banks of 4 whenever we've got the ball, because we are dangerous. But I think tonight, this is the thing with us. I think every game, it took us a while to get that first goal, but 15 minutes, 4 goals. This goes to show how clinical we can be. But I think we've got to take this form now into Crystal Palace. I think because as well, it's look at the league table. Champions League is brought up. Sorry, guys, a bit random, but we're 3rd, which is brilliant. 3 games, maximum points,
no goals conceded.
Yeah, look, I think next, we've got it's either Slavia Prague or Bayern Munich.
Yeah, we've got Slavia Prague away, and
Bayern Munich away.
We've got to do that without Subamendi.
Yeah,
because of that yellow card that he picked up. But it's you take it game by game, Tone, and I know on what you're saying as well. Sometimes it's such a difficult game. I mean, listen, we all love the game of football. We interpret it different ways. We want it played in certain ways. A game like tonight, where it was looking like we couldn't hit a barn door of a banjo, we could not, a set piece goal kind of opened stuff up. We have to realise it is going to be frustrating to watch. But if what he's trying to do, Mikel, say for argument's sake, you want when we was coming out of the blocks, if you don't get that goal, you run a bit out of steam and they nick a goal, and then we're chasing the game. We did that against City a little bit in terms of they got back in, they counter-attacked us because he was sitting deep, Pep. We have to avoid moments like that, and I think that's one of the that was a learning curve again for Mikel in certain game states and how to approach it. So you're going to have games where you're going to we can't score it, and we will it will switch. We can't, for 60 to 70 games throughout the season, Tone, we can't play fast-paced football, excellent, exciting. When it clicks, it will. We did it at Leeds, we did it at Nottingham Forest, tonight in that 15-minute spell. It will happen, Tone, where you're going to look there, it's going to be in our chat, we're boring, we're rubbish. To the eye, it is, but, it's ways he's setting us up to be that way, to control, you know what I mean? It's always different game states, mate.
I thought tonight, I must admit, I was quite shocked how quickly we started, because we don't normally start that quick. Come straight out of the blocks, and we were playing fluid football. I mean, I don't know if that was the opposition. We was more up for it. The crowd were brilliant tonight. We need to take that into the weekend as well.
Kudos to them.
With really good atmosphere in there. Got the players going, but we've got to do that every game. We can't start as slow as we did the last couple of the games. And I generally thought tonight we would have gone really slow. It would have been quite lethargic, quite boring, to be honest with you. But I've got the complete opposite. I feel like it was quite an entertaining game. After that,
two tacticians, Bones, wasn't it? Really,
that's
what it was.
They were going for it, and it could have been a completely different game. That stupidity from Raya in the corner, that could have easily nested in the net, and then they sit back in and we lose this 1-0.
Yeah.
But we got away with one there, definitely. But I think one thing I would say I noticed with Atletico Madrid, their squad's slightly aging as well, so they're not as good as they once were. So they're probably in a rebuilding process as well. But obviously, take nothing away from us. We went out and beat a good team tonight.
Yeah, we just absorbed it, Tone. And as I say, it was like our friend in the chat said, we didn't look like we could score 1, and let alone 4. Set pieces undone. Set piece again, ole. But
what a free kick from Declan Rice.
Declan Rice, absolutely. Them free kicks, he's world class. You can see why I wanted Eza for his free kicks, Tone, but I mean you can see why
No one's
Mikel
touching
keeps.
Declan Rice on them free kicks.
You know what I mean. So I think as well though we obviously that can be an option anyway with Eza, but I mean Declan Rice is just phenomenal with his deliveries. And also a big shout though to Gabby, because obviously he set up the goal, Gyökeres' second goal, where he's obviously just kneed it in. He headed it across goal. We just unlocked them. And the thing is, when we play like a team, this is it. What you got to also realise, Tone, is it could be a way of succouring in the opposition and the way Mikel plays. In terms of what I mean by this is that we're not looking, we're probing in a certain way, and then they getting back into it. You know what I mean? And what it is if you let them get the ball, the opposition, you let them play their way, you let them think they're gaining control of the match, and then they start to open up pockets of space, and then it creates moments where fouls are committed, where we scored the first goal, second goal, you got a phenomenal run from our inverted left back who should really be a midfielder, and he bursts through the midfield, sets it up. You start opening them gaps up. It could just be a way. Like it's like in boxing, Tone. If you got a boxer, you're jabbing, and what I mean. It's you're just trying to initiate the fight. Initiate him to come at you. We may do it where we're initiating him to go, all right, we've had a few jabs here. Now you jab back, and he opens up his chin. That's what this could be, the tactics of what Mikel's trying to do, Tony. Get these teams to open up spaces that creates it. And look, it works. It can be frustrating to watch some days because you think, what we've got Eza, we got Saka, we got Martinelli, we got one of the best finishers in the world in the last couple of years in Gyökeres. And he has been better than Ireland, even though he's been in a lower league. But in terms of his scoring rate, you're thinking, well, we should batter any team. But sometimes it's not the way we're going to set up, matey. So you always have to be prepared for these matches, Pones. I know we want to have a 3-4-0, but it's going to happen. And look what's happened,
No, good result. I think we'll wrap it up there. But yeah, I think closing thoughts, really good performance from the Gunners. I think everyone played well. I think Eze looked a bit lost, but I think that was the system, and
it will come time.
In the game. But I think he didn't do a lot wrong. I think he was just a little bit, But I think Martinelli, if he's not in that starting 11 against Palace, then I think a lot of us are going to be questioning that, because I think he's done enough. He couldn't do any more than he did tonight to warrant that. So fair play to him. But yeah, good performance. Lewis Skelly, Calafiori, that's going to be another question there, because he set up that goal. But yeah,
also as well on closing, Tone, Mosquera. I mean, he's been kind of lost a little bit, but the boy he can come on and just slot straight in. He's phenomenal talent.
It proved how much depth we've got and how good it is. The depth in our squad is really good this season. That's why we've got to win something. Got to win something. I think the Champions League might be a little bit of a big request, considering the teams that are in it.
Yeah,
but I think Premier League, the way Liverpool go, they're not going to be like that forever. We've got to take all this form. But yeah, I think that we've made an exceptional start to the season, and it's just got to keep going. But yeah, good result tonight. I will sleep happy. This was one. This and Bayern Munich were the games that I was like, oh, they're going to be tough games. But no, we as my caption says, we made him look like Sean Dyche. On that note, please like and subscribe. Thank you for tuning in, guys, and we'll see you soon.
We appreciate it, guys. Take care.
Take care, guys.